Okay guys, so what I want to show you is essentially the final steps towards 3D printing something that you 3D modeled. And this is creating registration parts so that when you 3D print something, for example, I'm working on this lightsaber here, and for those interested, it's a custom lightsaber. It's just something I just drew up out of my imagination, but it is loosely based on a nice little Republic lightsaber just to get the overall silhouette shape, sort of. But anyway, so going back to this, now when I 3D print this, my SLA printer is not nearly big enough for the whole part to be printed at once, so I had to break it up into bits. And so I kind of broke it up where it made sense. So I have the top, the crystal. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with these, but the buttons, the upper grip, the lower grip, and the bottom. Now, I could certainly print these out exactly as is. So if we look here, if I print this lower grip out, I could glue it to the part above this upper grip, no problem. And the overall lining up of that won't really matter. As long as I get the parts pretty close, I'm sure a lot of you would be all right with that. But I'm really anal about the things that I make. So I want these to have some registration, and not just for this one, because this part isn't as important, but I really want this to line up here exactly in the 3D model. I want all my parts lining up exactly the way that I 3D modeled them. In order to do that, I'm going to do registration. So if you may have actually noticed this on the bottom part here, I actually have already created this, and this is what I'm going to show you how to do now. So I created a little hexagon key essentially that is part of the bottom part. So when I print this, it's going to have this, and it will go nicely into a little hexagon hole in the bottom of the part above it. So I'm going to show you how to do that now, and it's actually really simple, and it's a really powerful way to essentially make sure that your prints line up when you go back and put them together. Um, Makes your life so much easier, and it actually strengthens that bond too, because you have a little bit more surface area to work with. So first off, I'm going to bring back my sketches, and I'm going to hide everything that I don't need. So I don't need anything but the lower grip. Okay, so you can actually see my underlying sketch now. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way too much, and if so, we'll hide it, but there's a reason for that. So first off, if we work on a sketch, we're going to need to draw a sketch, but sketches need a plane to work off of. And if you look here, this is the origin. So there's no plane where I want it on this face. So we're going to go to Construct, Plane Tangent to Face at Point. Now, we're going to choose the face, which is the face that I want to work off of here, the top of my lower grip. And I'm going to choose a point. Now, to be honest, I don't really understand the points. I'm pretty new to this. This is mostly to help me, to be honest, but if it helps you, great. And so I just choose the origin, and it works out. I don't know why, so maybe you'll be able to tell us in the comments, but whatever. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I have a plane that's been constructed tangent to the lower grip. And this is where I'm going to create a sketch. And I'm going to do a polygon, an inscribed polygon. Now, I may be over-engineering for some of you. Maybe some of you don't really care about that. You just want the parts to line up well enough up and down. And so in that case, a circle would probably be just fine. But I'm going to do polygons, so like I said, the little bits on the side will also line up nicely. So I'm going to do an inscribed polygon. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose the plane that we just created. Now you can actually see the previous hexagon I created and because of my sketches showing, but that's one of the reasons I have it showing is so that I can see where it was. But it was 4.5 millimeters, and so I'm going to hit that. All right, so now I've constructed this hexagon sketch. So we need to extrude it. So I'm going to go to extrude. You could hit E as well, but I never remember the keystrokes. So we're going to extrude it. My previous one was 3.5 millimeters, so 3.5. And what I want is it to be joined. So I want it to join with the part below it so that I have this nice hexagon key on top. And I have the upper grip not showing because otherwise you'll have a different operation. Even if you choose join on the other operation, then you'll join the lower to the upper, and we don't want that. We want them separate. So join is good, hit OK. All right, now I have this nice lower grip. It's set up, it's done. It has the key on top and the keyhole on the bottom. But we now need to do another step. We need to create the keyhole on this part so that the two parts will fit nicely together. And in order to do that, it's really simple. I'm going to hide sketches now. I have these two showing that I want to do. I'm going to go to Modify, Combine, hit Combine. So the target body is the part we want to cut the hole into, so I'm going to select that. The tool body is the thing that's doing the cutting, so I'm going to choose that. Now, a lot of times Keep Tools is not checked. We want to make sure it's checked because otherwise we'll cut this little keyhole into it, but we'll lose this whole part. And we don't want that, so we want to keep the tool and we want to cut. So we hit OK. All right, now what we have is we still have our nice little male key in our lower grip the way we want, but if we look at the upper grip, it now has a registration hole for this. So, and like I said, we're going to do this for all the parts until we can have a nice, easily assembled model. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. If so, feel free to like and feel free to ask any questions that you might have. I'm pretty new to this, but I'm more than happy to help out. So otherwise, have a nice day.